Hi everyone. Welcome to this nice Facebook Live session. My name is Karen Barr. I am a marketing director at the Advanced Process Automation team at NICE, and I am extremely excited to be here today talking to you about robotic process automation. And robotic process automation is an extremely exciting domain to be in these days. But in this talk, I would like to specifically dedicate it to a topic that we refer to as attended and unattended automation. I don't know if a lot of you have heard these terms before, but they are definitely out there. And there's a slight difference in the type of automations that both of these provide, attended and unattended automation. And I'll go into the difference between these two types of automation. We'll talk about the use cases that each one of them is used for and how they're basically used together. So that will be the main focus of my talk today. And I hope you'll learn and enjoy our time together. So just to take it a little bit, give it a little perspective. The RPA or robotic process automation market, and it's referred to these days as RPA and AI market. AI stands for artificial intelligence. Um, so it's a very dynamic market, with RPA being the more basic entry level to process automation and process optimization. And AI takes it to the next level of sophistication in process automation. And wherever we look, enterprises are either at a stage where they're actively deploying RPA, or they are planning to deploy it in the near-term future. I want to read you a few of the quotes that we see out there and what the leading firms say about RPA. So if we look at the Financial Times, they say it's tough to compare this to any other industry. It's a market that's showing dramatic adoption. So this is what I'm talking about. Every enterprise out there is looking to adopt RPA and AI. Forbes is saying nearly half of corporations intend to use cognitive automation at scale over the next 3 years. So they're already talking about cognitive automation. This is the AI component that is coming into the world of process optimization and process automation within the next 3 years. And then this is my favorite. From Harvard Business School, they say that workplaces will naturally gravitate toward teams of humans and robots working together. So I really like that, the humans and robots working together. And at NICE, our slogan for process automation is automation for the people. Because we believe that the human element is here to stay. You know, when you talk about customer service, especially, people like doing business with people. People like getting service from people. You know, they want the human touch. And organizations want people to handle their customers, to give that extra touch and to give that extra attention, but also to handle the more, complex, high value type of interactions that you still want to get a grasp on. You don't want technology to take over those domains. So it's not about robots replacing people, but more about robots assisting people become better employees, become more engaged in what they do, and let the robots handle the things that we don't really enjoy doing. There's a lot of there are big parts of our roles, whatever role you're in, but even more so in the contact center, back office, as well as other shared services domains. Big parts of the roles, have nothing to do with the training and the skills that those people have. big parts of their roles are mundane, repetitive, routine, things that these people don't enjoy doing, and they're happy to hand it off to let somebody else, say a robot, do those things for them. So, just to give you an example, an anecdote from a customer of ours that that who said, this is a person who said, you know what, if it wasn't for automation, I would have left my job because the mundane work was taking over, and he wasn't doing the things that he came to that role for. So thanks to robots, he still he enjoys his work because the robots took over the boring stuff basically. So with that, I want to start drilling down into the attended and unattended world. So we split RPA, robotic process automation, into different types of automation. When we talk about unattended automation, this is the classic RPA that everybody talks about. This is finding processes that are completely automated by a robot, a software robot, typically on a backend server. So you take a process, you offload it from the person's daily activities, and a robot handles it in the backend. The robot interacts with the desktop applications in the environment, um, and executing the task in a similar way that the human did manually before, but doing it in a much faster, more efficient way. Robots are much more accurate. People make mistakes. We get distracted a lot. These robots just work 24/7. Don't take any breaks, and the output that they provide is huge, much greater than a person could do, obviously. So unattended automation is, again, it's taking a process, completely automating it end to end without any human intervention, typically on a backend server. These servers, sometimes they don't even have a monitor. Nobody's looking at those automations. They just happen continuously during the day, handling processes day in, day out. And there are endless ways to use unattended automation. There are many, many different use cases. And these use cases vary by industry. They can be varied by the line of business. And just to give a few examples of unattended processes that are automated in an unattended fashion. So, for example, in the HR department, automating the creation of offer letters to job candidates is one example. How do they create that offer letter? It's just copying and pasting a ton of information from the HR system into that Word document offer letter, and it's always done in the same way. And the information is the same information is collected and is inputted into that offer letter in the same location. It's a very structured process that is great, a great potential for automation. So that's one example. Another example could be in the IT business. When an employee leaves the company, the IT person needs to delete that employee from the various IT systems. So if you think about that process, it's a very, very boring, time-consuming process. It's about locating that employee and clicking the delete button, locating them in different systems. Very repetitive process. That automation is clearly the right way to go. If we're looking at the back office, they have a lot of repetitive mundane processes, claim processing, sales execution, whatever it is. And automation is clearly taking over those processes and allowing those people to have more human interactions and more complex decisioning and apply their special skills. So that's what unattended automation is all about. Let's talk about attended automation, the other side of automation. So what is attended automation? As the name implies, it's automation that is done alongside a human, right? There's somebody attending to that process. Typically, these are processes that it makes more sense that they're executed by people, and people lead the process. But if you take that process and you break it down into action, there are multiple actions within the process that it makes sense to automate. But then you're not completely automating the process, you're completing bits and pieces of the process you're automating. So, and that automation takes place on a user's desktop. So it could be, on my desktop, I handle a process, and at some point, something happens automatically. And while the automation takes place on my desktop, I can see it, or it can be minimized. I can keep working. I can keep doing other things with my desktop applications, or I can do other things, talk on the phone, go print a document, whatever it is that I need to do. So attended automation happens on a user's desktop, and it's typically taking small bits and pieces of the processes and automating them for the employee, on behalf of the employee, so they don't have to do that stuff. But that's only one part of what we offer with attended automation. This year, we launched a product called NEVA. NEVA stands for Nice Employee Virtual Attendant. And what NEVA does is attended automation. It automates desktop tasks, but it also provides process guidance. And that's a huge part of what NEVA is all about. So process guidance is basically providing the employee with assistance on how to complete their desktop processes in a more efficient way. So NEVA can provide guidance for next best action. So recommend what is the next best thing that the employee needs to do at this step of the process, in context to what they're doing right now, what type of process they're handling, or what type of customer they're talking to right now. So next best action recommendation. NEVA can provide links to more information that is required as part of what they're doing at this point in the conversation in real time. NEVA is continuously monitoring what they're doing on their desktop and suggesting that assistance in real time. NEVA can also provide with scripts. So what do they need to say, whether it's for compliance purposes, whether it's sales scripts, so they can have a better chance of upselling that product or plan. So scripts, quick links to information. Another big one for efficiency is that NEVA can collect the relevant information from various systems and display it on the user's desktop when they need it most. So for example, if I have a customer calling the contact center agent, and you know how these calls many times work when the agent says, I'm going to put you on hold for a second while I look up your information, right? That happens a lot to all of us. And the customer is waiting on hold, and that interaction, handle time is pretty long, and the agent is manually looking for the information that will be needed for that call. Think of the opposite scenario with NEVA. NEVA will collect all the information right off the bat at the beginning of the call and display it on the agent's desktop. That way, they don't have to put the customer on hold. Handle time is contained, and they have everything they need at their fingertips, whether it's the customer's date of birth, credit limits, recent claims, whatever it is. NEVA can bring that information displayed in a single view on the agent's desktop right there when they need it at their fingertips. So NEVA, Nice Employee Virtual Attendant, is our attended automation solution. So it's about automating processes, but also about guiding the employee with the next best action, next best offer, recommendations, quick links, and that sort of detail. That really makes them happier employees. It makes them, meet their KPIs better and perform better on the job, be more engaged. Everything we want for our employees to have. Users of this type of system, they love it. They're just better performers. Attrition is down, training is reduced. So a great way to assist employees in making them better performers. So we have unattended automation and attended automation. And so how do you know which one to choose? The good news, you don't have to choose. Most of our customers use both. And, they use them for different processes, for different types of processes. So, for example, with unattended automation, there are so many processes that you can really automate end to end. Most of the processes, you need the human intervention. So you want to select those processes that can be fully automated with attended automation, and then leave those processes that the human leads for attended automation. But these really complement, the solutions complement each other very, very nicely. I'll give you an example of one of our customers in the financial industry. They have a contact center that handles fraud calls. They get fraud calls from customers who, their credit card was stolen or lost, and they want to report fraudulent activity on that card. They call that contact center. And that contact center has investigators who investigate that fraud case. And they have a 5-minute SLA of when, from when that call comes in to when they need to actually start handling the case. And they weren't meeting that 5-minute SLA because the wrap up of the previous call was taking a long time. And the wrap up of a fraud case is something that is very, very repetitive. It's always done in the same way. Wrapping up an investigation is mostly about copying and pasting information into the fraud case document. And they decided to completely offload the call summary or the wrap-up step and hand it off to unattended robots. But then we said, you know what, we can also help the investigator doing, their investigation job much better with attended automation by offering them all the information they need for that customer, by offering them quick links to additional information they may need in order to facilitate the investigation. So that's how they're using both types of automation, unattended and attended, in conjunction for the same type of process. So, so that's how unattended and attended automation work, and there's a lot of handoff between both these types of automation. And automation can start in attended mode, and at some point can trigger an unattended robot, to finish off the automation, or to keep going, to wrap up, to execute the sales automation. Or a process can start in an unattended fashion and at some point hand off to an attended robot to pop up something on the user screen and get their intervention, to get their approval, to get their confirmation in some step of the process. So that happens all the time. I now want to talk to you for just a little bit longer about how enterprises choose the processes that they want to automate. And that's actually a huge question that a lot of enterprises starting their automation journey have. They say, and they ask us this question. They say, where do we start? We have hundreds or thousands of processes. Which ones are suited for automation? And that's actually a number one failure reason why automation projects fail, because of choosing the wrong processes to start with. Those processes may be the more complex ones. Not sure that's the best choice. They could be those automations that maybe 2 people in the company do, 3 times a day. Maybe it's not the best ROI for an automated process. So there are a lot of different considerations, whether it's the handle time of the process, the complexity, how error prone is it, what is the frequency in which this process is being, executed during the day, by how many people. So all of these considerations could be taken when selecting the right processes to start with automation. And also this year, NICE announced a new tool for automating that process of process selection. We call it Automation Finder, and it's a discovery tool that collects information about how your employees are, going about their day, which processes are they doing, what are the steps in the different processes, what is the frequency and volume of the work that they do. It collects all that information, and then by using advanced machine learning algorithms, it clusters and identifies the relevant processes for automation, and it prioritizes them, it scores them. So the ones that have the highest score are the best processes to automate based on those different considerations that I talked about, and those will yield the best ROI if automated. So Automation Finder will help you select, the right processes to automate and help you start your automation journey on the right foot. So everything I talked about today is actually in a book. So automation, attended, unattended, NIVA, Automation Finder. You can find all this information in this very, very nice book. It's called Robotic Process Automation for Dummies. This is a book we prepared with together with the Dummies team. And it really has everything to get you started on your automation journey. This book, I wish I could give it to you, but you can actually download it from the nice.com/RPA website. This is our website. It has a lot of information about what we do at NICE for automation. And this book is a free download from our website. So go ahead and click. You have the link in the post window. And one last thing I wanted to mention was that we have customer events at our annual customer event Interaction 2019 is taking place in mid-April this year, and we will have a dedicated track to automation, RPA, and AI, where our customers will come and speak and talk about their experiences, talk about their success stories of how they're using attended, unattended, their center of excellence that they put in place in order to succeed with automation. So I urge you to register for our event, come visit us at the automation track, and learn more about RPA. And with that, I want to thank you for listening, and I wish you a great rest of your day.